Have you ever said something and instantly wished you could take it back? We've all been there. That moment when your words feel like an arrow, shot and impossible to retrieve. But imagine if you could master your speech so that every word reflects wisdom, finesse, and inner strength. That's exactly what we're exploring today. 6 things an intelligent person never says, all inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us that words are more than just sounds. They're reflections of your intellect, values, and character. From avoiding meaningless bragging to embracing the power of silence, these habits can transform not only how you communicate but how others perceive you. And here's the best part. By the end of this journey, you'll have practical insights to elevate the way you speak, whether it's in the workplace, with friends, or even in conversations with yourself. So get ready. This isn't just about speaking wisely. It's about understanding how your words shape the person you are. Let's dive in. Number 1. Avoid boasting about knowledge. Have you ever met someone who couldn't stop talking about their achievements and expertise? At first, their confidence might impress you, but over time, it often feels like their need to showcase their knowledge overshadows everything else. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true wisdom doesn't need to flaunt itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nature does not boast of what it creates, and neither should we take credit for our wisdom." This isn't just advice, it's a way of life. Let me share a story. I once knew someone named John, a brilliant expert in tech. During meetings, he made sure everyone knew about his major projects, technical prowess, and awards. Initially, people were captivated by his brilliance, but over time, they felt like every conversation with him was a personal showcase. A colleague eventually told him, candidly, that while his knowledge was remarkable, his approach was alienating others. That feedback was a turning point for John. He realized that in his attempt to impress, he was unintentionally creating distance. This is a trap many fall into, boasting not to share, but to seek validation. When you feel the urge to share your knowledge or accomplishments, pause and ask yourself why. If it's to contribute meaningfully, that's wonderful. But if it's to gain admiration, it's worth rethinking. When you boast, your words lose value, and you risk building invisible walls between yourself and others. Instead of inspiring, you might make people feel judged or measured against your intellect. So, what's the solution? 1. Let your actions speak louder than words. True knowledge shines through your work, not through your declarations. 2. Practice humility. Humility doesn't mean hiding your abilities. It means allowing others to see your value organically. 3. Listen. Listening is a form of silence that's deeply powerful. It shows respect, builds connections, and reflects true confidence. John gradually embraced these lessons. He began speaking less about himself and more about others, listening to their stories, ideas, and experiences. Conversations shifted from being dominated by his expertise to fostering genuine collaboration. People began to seek him out, not just for his intelligence, but for his sincerity and approachable spirit. Avoiding boasting doesn't mean silencing yourself. It means sharing your knowledge in a way that makes others feel respected, valued, and connected. Stoic philosophy reminds us that our words reflect our character. Choose humility over arrogance, and you'll enrich not only your own life but the lives of everyone around you. So, ask yourself, what do your words say about you? The answer can guide you toward becoming not just a better speaker, but a better person. Number 2. Never dismiss others' opinions. Have you ever been in a conversation where your opinion was dismissed before you even had the chance to explain? It's a painful experience, leaving you feeling overlooked, as though your thoughts and efforts hold no value. The worst part? It can make you start questioning yourself. Is what I'm saying really not important? I know this feeling all too well, because I've been the one causing it. Early in my leadership role, I was confident in my ability to make quick decisions. During a meeting, a colleague suggested an idea to improve our workflow. Without hesitation, I interrupted and dismissed it as impractical, thinking I was saving everyone's time. What I didn't realize was the effect of my words: an eerie silence in the room, hesitant glances among team members, and a noticeable lack of enthusiasm for further discussion. Later, a trusted colleague gently said, "Maybe you should have listened a bit longer. That idea wasn't as bad as it first sounded." That comment hit me like a wake-up call. I hadn't just lost an opportunity. I'd inadvertently created a culture of reluctance within my team. My quick dismissal didn't just shut down one idea. It silenced the creativity and confidence of others. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true wisdom comes from openness, not arrogance. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You cannot learn what you think you already know." When you dismiss someone's opinion without truly listening, you're not only closing the door on creativity, but also chipping away at trust and connection. This approach doesn't just cost you innovative ideas, it weakens your leadership. From that experience, I began to shift my mindset. I reminded myself that listening doesn't mean agreeing. It's about showing respect and being open to learning, even if an idea initially seems unworkable. To my surprise, adopting this curious mindset transformed our meetings. My team started contributing breakthrough solutions I would never have considered. Here's a perspective shift you can try. Instead of thinking, "How can I counter this idea?" ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Even imperfect ideas can offer valuable insights. And if not, you still gain a deeper understanding of how someone else perceives the problem. Stoicism reminds us that we are not the center of the universe. Dismissing someone's opinion is, at its core, an act of placing your perspective above all others, as if only you hold the ultimate truth. But the reality is, no single person has all the answers. True wisdom thrives in collaboration and the exchange of ideas. When I began encouraging open dialogue and asking questions, even from the quietest team members, the results were transformative. Meetings became more dynamic, the team felt more respected, and the ideas we generated were better than ever. I realized that everyone, in their own way, has something to teach. These were lessons I had been missing because of my impatience and overconfidence. A strategy for success. Refusing to dismiss others' opinions isn't just an act of kindness, it's a strategy for growth and innovation. When you respect the perspectives of those around you, you open the door to endless ideas, insights, and opportunities. You build trust, foster collaboration, and create an environment where true innovation can thrive. As Stoics believe, wisdom isn't about proving you're right. It's about understanding that everyone carries a piece of the truth in their own unique way. Recognizing and embracing this truth is the essence of genuine wisdom. Number 3. No empty promises. Promises carry a unique power in our lives. They shape expectations, build trust, and define the strength of our relationships. Yet, how often do we make promises without fully considering whether we can follow through? While often unintentional, this habit can erode credibility and weaken the bonds we hold dear. Stoic philosophy reminds us of the importance of aligning our words with our actions, emphasizing that integrity lies not in saying much, but in delivering what we say. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Let your words be plain and true." Promises are not just momentary reassurances, they are commitments that bind our words to our character. Let's explore this through the story of Greg. Greg was a well-meaning professional juggling a demanding career and family life. He often found himself overcommit, whether it was promising his team to review reports by Monday or assuring his family he'd be home for dinner. He frequently fell short. At first, people excused his behavior, chalking it up to his busy schedule. But as the unfulfilled promises piled up, so did the frustrations. His team began to doubt his commitments, and his family grew weary of his constant excuses. One evening, after missing yet another family event, Greg found a note on his desk from his teenage daughter. It read, "We just want you to mean it when you say it." That simple message was a turning point. Greg realized that while his intentions were good, his empty promises were causing more harm than he ever imagined. They were chipping away at the trust and respect he had worked so hard to build. The Stoic approach, speak with intention. Promises are not about appeasing the moment. They are declarations of integrity. Breaking a promise, even unintentionally, is like writing a check your credibility can't cash. So how can we avoid making empty promises while nurturing trust and respect? 1. Pause before you commit. Before agreeing to something, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, do I have the time, resources, and energy to fulfill this promise? If the answer is uncertain, it's better to set realistic expectations than to overpromise and underdeliver. For example, instead of saying, I'll definitely have this ready by tomorrow, try, I'll aim to have this ready by tomorrow, but if I need more time, I'll let you know. 2. Underpromise and overdeliver. Setting achievable goals and occasionally exceeding them builds trust and strengthens your reputation for reliability. Imagine Greg telling his team he'd need several days to review their reports, but completing them in just 2. Such actions speak volumes and demonstrate thoughtfulness. 3. Embrace accountability. If you find yourself unable to keep a promise, address it head-on. Apologize sincerely. Briefly explain the situation and propose a solution. This approach not only minimizes damage, but also shows respect for the other person's time and trust. Greg took these lessons to heart. He became more mindful of his commitments, learning to say no when necessary and ensuring he could deliver on his yes. Over time, his team regained trust in his leadership, and his family began to see his efforts as genuine. What's more, Greg noticed a shift within himself, a sense of peace that came from knowing his words carried weight, and his actions backed them up. Avoiding empty promises isn't about being perfect, it's about being authentic and dependable. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength lies in living with integrity, where words and actions align seamlessly. By committing to this principle, you not only earn respect but also create deeper, more meaningful relationships. After all, it's not the promises we make that define us, it's the ones we keep. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on so you never miss future content. If this wisdom resonates with you, drop a comment saying, I love this wisdom. Let's continue this journey together. Number 4. Don't deny your mistakes. Have you ever felt like admitting a mistake is the same as exposing a weakness for everyone to judge? I used to think that too, until one experience completely transformed my perspective. Through Stoic philosophy, I learned that admitting your mistakes doesn't diminish your worth. Instead, it elevates you as someone honest, courageous, and strong. Marcus Aurelius once said, if someone is able to prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I will gladly change, for it is the truth I seek, and the truth never harmed anyone. These words carry profound wisdom, and they came alive for me in a personal story I'd like to share. A few years ago, I was leading a major project at work. In my rush to meet a tight deadline, I overlooked critical details in a report. The result? Those inaccuracies led to my team facing harsh criticism from upper management. When the mistake came to light, my first instinct was to make excuses, blaming the heavy workload, the tight timeline, anything but myself. Deep down, though, I knew that denying my role would only erode the trust I'd worked so hard to build. So, I chose a different path. At the next meeting, I admitted my mistake, apologized to my team, and outlined clear steps to ensure it wouldn't happen again. The response? Unexpected. Instead of judgment, my colleagues appreciated my honesty. Some even thanked me for taking accountability and setting an example. That day, I realized something powerful. Admitting my mistake didn't weaken me, it made me more trustworthy. Why is taking responsibility so impactful? Because it breaks down walls of defensiveness and builds trust. By owning your mistakes, you send a strong message that you value truth over your ego. You also create a safe environment where others feel empowered to admit their own mistakes and collaborate on solutions. Of course, admitting a mistake isn't always easy. We fear judgment or losing respect. But think about it. Does denying an obvious mistake actually improve your image? Or does it make you seem unreliable? The truth is, admitting your faults is a sign of confidence. It shows that you're strong enough to face the truth and committed to growing better from the experience. How to embrace accountability? 1. Practice self-awareness. When something goes wrong, resist the urge to point fingers. Instead, ask yourself, what was my role in this? Even if your share of the blame is small, acknowledging it is the first step toward finding a solution. 2. Focus on fixing the problem. Don't just apologize and move on. Demonstrate through your actions that you're committed to making things right. 3. View mistakes as opportunities. Stoic philosophy reminds us that mistakes aren't failures, they're chances to learn and grow. Those who admit their errors inspire others and build a foundation of respect and trust. When you own up to your mistakes, you set yourself apart. You show that you're not afraid of the truth and that you're committed to becoming better. So the next time you make a mistake, resist the temptation to hide or deflect. Pause, take responsibility, and commit to improvement. Remember, the courage to admit your mistakes doesn't just earn respect, it defines your strength and character. Number 5. Don't overshare future plans. The Stoics emphasize that keeping promises isn't just about fulfilling obligations, it's about safeguarding your credibility and showing respect for others. When promises are made lightly, no matter how small, they can slowly chip away at your reputation and trustworthiness. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. Jim, a middle-aged professional with a warm personality, had a habit of saying yes to almost anything people asked of him, whether it was helping a friend move, volunteering for an extra project at work, or promising to attend every community event. His default response was always, "Sure, count me in." But as life got busier, those well-intentioned agreements started piling up. Over time, Jim began forgetting or failing to show up. One day, a close friend invited him to a significant family dinner. As usual, Jim enthusiastically agreed, but later forgot and scheduled a work meeting at the same time. The next day, his friend expressed disappointment, sharing how much the family had looked forward to his presence. That moment was a wake-up call. Jim realized that his well-meaning words, meant to please in the moment, were causing more harm than good. His promises, though not made with malice, had become hollow, damaging the relationships he valued most. This scenario highlights a common trap: overcommitting to avoid awkwardness or to appear agreeable. But Stoicism teaches us that our words should be intentional and aligned with our actions. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Authenticity and intention should guide every promise. Saying yes without conviction often stems from a fear of disappointing others, but failing to follow through causes far greater harm. How to avoid overcommitting? 1. Pause before you agree. When someone asks for your commitment, take a moment to reflect. Does this align with your priorities? Can you realistically fulfill it? If not, a respectful no is far more valuable than a hesitant yes that never materializes. People appreciate honesty and clarity over vague commitments. 2. Prioritize quality over quantity. It's better to commit to fewer things and do them well than to spread yourself too thin. When you say you'll do something, do it with intention and excellence. This approach builds a reputation for reliability and respect. 3. Understand that saying no is self-awareness, not selfishness. The Stoics believed in focusing on what is within your control. Overcommitting dilutes your energy and diminishes your ability to deliver on promises that truly matter. By being selective and deliberate, you protect your integrity and maintain trust. After his wake-up call, Jim adopted a more mindful approach. He started saying no to requests he couldn't genuinely accommodate and focused on fulfilling the commitments that mattered most. Over time, his relationships improved, and people came to respect him, not for saying yes to everything, but for always following through on what he agreed to. Avoiding empty promises is about more than keeping your word. It's about aligning your actions with your values. It's about fostering deeper, more meaningful connections. The Stoics remind us that every word we speak shapes how others perceive us and how we perceive ourselves. So, the next time someone asks for a commitment, take a moment to pause, reflect, and ensure your promise is one you can honor fully. That's not just wisdom, it's strength. I'd love to hear about your journey. Have you faced challenges with overcommitting? Share your story, successes, or even lessons learned in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this session, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on more content like this. Your engagement helps this community grow and supports our collective journey toward wisdom and intentional living. Stay tuned. 2 more videos are waiting for you to continue learning and growing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.